వారి జీవితాలను మార్చే విధంగా తీర్మానాలు చేసి వాటి అమలుకు కలిసికట్టుగా కృషి చేద్దాం. ఈ సమావేశంలో జరగబోయే చర్చల కోసం నేను ఎంతో ఆసక్తిగా ఎదురు చూస్తున్నాను. మా గౌరవ ముఖ్యమంత్రి వర్యులు శ్రీ నారా చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు తను 15 సంవత్సరాల పాలనలో మహిళా సాధికారతకు పెద్దపీట వేశారు. సీఎం గారు మహిళా పక్షపాతి, ఉమెన్ నీడ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ అన్న మాటను మా సీఎం గారు అంగీకరించారు. డెవలప్మెంట్ నీడ్స్ ఉమెన్ అనేదే చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారి నినాదం, వారి పరిపాలనా విధానం. నాకు ఈ అవకాశం కల్పించిన గౌరవనీయ సభాపతి గారికి, ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారికి మరియు వేదికపై ఆసీనులైన పెద్దలందరికీ నా హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటున్నాను. జై హింద్.
Thank you, madam. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you about the walkie set. For the language live interpretation, you can tune into Hindi for channel 2, English for channel 3 and floor for 1. Please note, and our representatives will be there to help you out. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, as a token of our conference today, now we move on to the very special moment, the launch of the conference souvenir. This souvenir is a rich compilation of articles, insights and reflections from officials, experts and dignitaries, capturing the collective vision of National Conference of Women's Empowerment. It stands as a record of ideas, experiences and commitments. I now request Shri Om Birla Ji, Honorable Speaker Lok Sabha, to please launch the souvenir and all the other dignitaries to kindly join. Also, ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Chief Minister was supposed to be here. Due to the inclement weather, he was not able to take off from Amaravati. He sent his regrets in spite of his best efforts. And also, he was supposed to host today's lunch on behalf of our Honorable Chief Minister. Shri Payyavula Keshav Garu, Minister for Legislative Affairs, will host today's lunch. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And the conference souvenir, it stands as a record of ideas, experiences and commitments that will continue to inspire the journey of women's growth and equality. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I now request Dr. D. Purandeshwari Garu, Honorable Chairperson, Committee on the Empowerment of Women, Parliament of India, to address the gathering.
ఏ దేశమెగినా ఎందుకాలిడినా ఏ పీఠమెక్కినా ఎవరెదురైనా పొగడరా నీ తల్లి భూమి భారతిని నిలుపురా నీ జాతి నిండు గౌరవం. ఇక్కడ ఆసీనులైనటువంటి ప్రజాప్రతినిధులందరూ చేస్తున్నటువంటి పని, తీసుకున్నటువంటి బాధ్యత అదే అని చెప్పి నేను గట్టిగా విశ్వసిస్తున్నాను. తెలుగు భాషలందు తెలుగు లెస్స అని చెప్పి మనం అందరం కూడా కీర్తించినప్పటికీ ఈరోజు ఈ సమావేశానికి భారతదేశ నలుమూలల నుండి భాగస్వాములు, అందులోని మహిళలు వచ్చినటువంటి సందర్భంలో చాలా వరకు ఆంగ్లంలో మాట్లాడితే అది సందర్భోచితంగా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పి భావిస్తూ, respected Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Shri Om Birla Ji, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he was to be with us, but unfortunately due to the weather conditions he is not here, Shri Chandrababu Naidu Ji, Speaker of the AP Assembly, Shri Ayyana Pathrudu Garu, the Deputy Chairman of the AP Legislative Assembly, Shri Raghuram Krishnamraj Garu. We also have with us Minister Shri Payyavul Keshav Garu and also the Chairman of the Women Committee, Andhra Pradesh, Gauru Charita Garu. And of course, all the Women Empowerment Committee chairpersons from across the country, from all the states, MPs, MLAs, and also those representatives who have been nominated by the Speaker in such states that do not have the Women Empowerment Committee, ladies and gentlemen. On this auspicious occasion, I extend a very warm welcome to all the esteemed guests who are seated on the dais and off the dais. It is a conference of the Legislative Committee for Empowerment of Women, which is being held in Tirupati at the lotus feet of Sri Lord Balaji. The presence of the distinguished guests add value to this event, and we are eager to listen to the thoughtful insights which will reflect on the significance of the work we undertake in the Committee on Empowerment of Women. We have gathered here today to reaffirm our resolve that the empowerment of women is central to the progress of India. It underscores our shared commitment for advancing gender justice and inclusive development. India's vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047 rests on the pillars of equality, inclusion, and empowerment. Women-led development has now become the new narrative, the core narrative of India's national strategy. As articulated by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, India is investing in women as catalysts of growth through improved access to education, entrepreneurship, health, and digital literacy. Flagship schemes such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Stand Up India, Mahila Samman Savings Certificate, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has created a transformative ecosystem where women are no longer simply beneficiaries, but active contributors to the national progress. More than 10 crore women have joined the self-help groups, becoming economic change makers in rural India. This participative model of governance ensures that the woman's voice shapes policies leading to sustained and equitable growth. It would be inappropriate if we did not remember the participation of women in India's freedom struggle. Women's participation in India's freedom struggle was simply not marginal, but it was central. The freedom movement was not just about a story about political leaders and battles, but it is also a story of women who stepped out of their homes, defying social restrictions to fight for the nation's independence. Rani Jhansi Lakshmibai, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Sarojini Naidu ji, Kasturiba Gandhi ji, Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, Preetilata Vaddedar, Kalpana Dutt, Durga Babi, Madam Bikaji Kama have all left an indelible mark in our minds. At the grassroots, countless unsung heroines have made sacrifices. Matangani Hazra of Bengal, Kanakalata Barua, who was just 17 years old and martyred in Assam, Akkamma Cherian of Kerala are part of this. As the world's largest democracy, we believe that the greater presence of women in political and decision-making spaces creates a sense of security among the common citizens, particularly the women and the marginalized sections. As a result, India today is witnessing a rapid transformation from women's development to women-led development. Under the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, our government has adopted a multi-pronged approach involving the whole of the government and the whole of society to address issues women face as a lifetime continuum basis. Keeping pace with this, the Parliamentary Committee on Empowerment of Women is working for women's educational, social, economic, and political empowerment that ascertains gender justice and equality. However, we must also acknowledge the persisting challenges: unequal access to education, digital exclusion, underrepresentation in formal workforce, and leadership roles continue to hinder women's full potential. The Digital India initiative must be complemented by the efforts to bridge the gender digital divide, particularly focusing on rural women. Remedial steps must include gender budgeting across ministries, effective implementation of laws such as the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act and the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, and time-bound action on gaps identified in the parliamentary and state reports. Greater institutional convergence and periodic review of flagship schemes under the Mission Shakti framework play a significant role in delivering the measurable outcomes. Honorable members, we may recall that on the occasion of the International Women's Day of 1996, both houses of parliament adopted identical resolutions regarding the constitution of a joint standing committee on improving women's status. In response, the Committee on Empowerment of Women was constituted for the first time on the 29th of April 1997 under a unique cross-ministerial mandate to scrutinize all measures affecting women. Since its inception, the committee has worked diligently to fulfill the mandate. It is a matter of immense pride for me as the present chairperson of the Women Committee on Empowerment to place before you that the committee has finalized and presented 87 reports to the Parliament, 45 original reports and 42 action taken reports on a wide range of issues affecting women. In the 17th Lok Sabha alone, we have held 46 sittings, invited 16 ministries and departments and other organizations, including the National Commission for Women for Evidence and Briefing, and laid 8 impactful reports and 5 action taken statements in the Parliament. Our study visits to different parts of the country allowed us to engage directly with officials, non-governmental organizations, and countless women, including those in the self-help groups, to ground our recommendations in real-world experience. None of these achievements would have been possible without exemplary teamwork. I must acknowledge the leadership and unwavering commitment of my predecessors and all past and present members of the committee whose dedicated efforts have upheld its effective functioning. Our success also reflects a spirit of collaboration with the executive, union ministries, state departments, and other stakeholders. We express our gratitude to all ministries, agencies that have facilitated our sittings, also the National Commission for Women for its support, and to the experts and civil society representatives who have shared their insights. Honorable members, the recommendations suggested by the committee have led to concrete policy changes across diverse domains. This conference is a landmark event bringing together chairpersons of committees on empowerment of women from Parliament and state legislatures for the first time. It is an opportunity to share experiences, exchange best practices, explore innovative ways to strengthen the ideals of the Constitution, which guarantees equality and empowers us to adopt measures for positive discrimination, as exemplified by the recent and transformative Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Through panel discussions, workshops, and networking sessions, we will address emerging issues and develop strategies to enhance our collective effectiveness. By fostering collaboration across national and state levels, we can strengthen the oversight mechanism that underpin our democracy. To celebrate this milestone, we are proud to have had the Honorable Speaker of the Lok Sabha to release a commemorative souvenir that captures the essence of almost